Hi everyone, welcome back to my front door. Today we're going to do a lesson on rounding. There was a question in your slides this week that asked you to round a number that was in the hundreds to the nearest 10. And there was a little bit of confusion, so we wanted to clear that up today on a video. I think that's the best way for you to learn, is to see and to hear and to go over it together. Now, most of you answered part of that question correctly, but we're going to start with this number line that has the numbers 10, 20, and 30. Remember when we talked about fractions and counting fractions on a number line, just like we can count whole numbers? We can also count by tens if we choose to. So 10, 20, 30. Now think about it the way we talked about fractions. There are numbers that can go in between these tens. There are numbers that can go in between these two tens. Okay? I can put 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have to do this because I'm running out of space. 18 and 19. Those are all the numbers that come between 10 and 20. The numbers that come between 20 and 30, as you know, 21, 22, 23, and all the way up to 30. When we're rounding to the nearest 10, remember that we look at the number that's in the ones place. When you're rounding to the nearest 10, you look to the ones. And this is one of those things in mathematics where somebody made a rule somewhere. If it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, those numbers all round up. 4 and below, round down. So if it ends in a 5, if there's a 5 in the ones place, 5 and above, give it a shove, push it up to the next 10 that's higher. So these numbers all round up. We drew little arrows like this in class. These numbers all round down. So I can make a statement like 12, when I'm rounding it to the nearest 10, rounds down to 10, not up to 20. I look at that ones place and decide which 10 is it closer to. If you look at 12, you can see that it's actually closer to 10, so it rounds down. 15 is dead in the center, but there's a rule, 5 and above, give it a shove. Okay, and we can round all these to the proper place where they would go. But I want to talk about the number that was in our slide. We asked you to round all possible numbers to 260. And there are some that come before 260 and some that come after. Most of you, your answer was not incorrect because most of you included the numbers below. You rounded up 258, 257, all those numbers. 259 rounds up to 260. We're rounding to the nearest 10, so we're looking at that ones place. You might say 260 is not a 10, but it actually is. It's just a number that has a lot of tens in it. How many tens are in the number 260? I'll give you a think minute, and I'm going to get something off my dog. Luna, no. No, can't eat that. Okay, did you think about it? There are 26 tens. And oftentimes when we were doing slides and number sense things, we would talk about how many tens are there in 260. There are 26 tens. What are 26 tens worth? 260. So some of the numbers round up. 258, look at that number in the ones place. 257 rounds up. 256, and then we get to that questionable one. 255. 255. Look what number's in the ones place. There's a 5 there. So it rounds up. You could say 255 rounds up to 260. 254 rounds down to 250. Now, most of you got these right. You listed 255, 256, 257, 258, and 259. Those all do round up. What we forgot to include in our answer, not all of you, a few of you did catch this. What about 261? Does that round to 260? It does. We said that rounds down. 261 rounds down to 260. What about 262? Yes, 263. 264. Here comes the questionable one. 265. Should be in the middle of this line. I apologize. I didn't have enough space. 265. Does that round down to 260? Or does that round up to 270? Which way will this one go? I want you to answer that in your Google Slides, or in your Google Classroom, or in an email to your teacher. 265 rounds down to 260 or up to 270. Well, thank you for doing all the hard work on your slides. All of us math teachers are so impressed with you. We all miss you so much, and we will look forward to the time we can see you again. And there's a little puppy here. She wants to say hello. So everybody say hi, Luna. Luna helps me. She helps me teach math. Everybody say hi. Have a good day. Press the button.